versus Elvemage. And we are going to see the Bellion pre-ban from both sides, and the Elegos being pre-banned by Elvemage, and Boss Zarunka immediately getting picked up with the Renac response from Keith without wasting any time, and the FCC pairing. Now, these two players, I'm sure, are very familiar with one another. Keith is a previous Hall of Fame finisher, and same with Elvemage, both very, very aggressive and very, very smart players. And Fiend is picked up by Elvemage with the Zeo locked on 3. Obviously, one of the best, arguably the strongest and best counter into Renac, as he can take that first turn away from the Renac. And Luna does get picked up by Keith. I really like that, since he has skill effect nullifier. He has 2 targets for Elvemage to target here. He is hovering the flan, and he does lock it in. And Elvemage actually says, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to pick up Ludwig. I'm going to pick some bridges for my Zeo, and I'm going to try to run you over. And so he is hovering the successor Teiyu. That would be another bridge for the Zeo. And he does lock it in. How is Keith going to respond into this? Obviously, you don't want to deal with a Ludwig bridge. You don't want to deal with a Teiyu bridge. And he is hovering Sea Phantom Politis, which would be resource reduction to try to get his top 4 units through. And he does lock it in. And immediately, they trade bans. Successor Teiyu is going to come through. Ludwig gets banned out. Sea Phantom Politis is going to be banned out on Keith's side.
My question is,
a very tall order.
Can Teiyu do enough here? He kills 1, but I feel like Keith has 4 threats. You know what I mean?
I would have to agree.
And he can't even kill Luna, because Luna is gonna be able to with the skill node won't be getting defense broken.
Okay, so he does go for the S3 onto the silence, onto the FCC, and pushes it back 40%. Soulburn S3 is going to be coming up from Successor Teiyu to try to land the defense breaks. And now S1 from Teiyu is going to be able to kill off the Renac through the mitigation, reliably so. And we do see that it is Aureus confirmed, almost chunking FCC like way below half HP, maybe around like 30% HP left. And now Keith does go for the Soulburn S3 on the Luna. It will seal off all the passives and apply that unbuffable when that Arunka comes around the corner. And now will Keith want to go for an S3? And he does. S3 coming out, going onto the Arunka. Will it land a defense break? And it does land a defense break, surprisingly. Yufi's going to be able to get an S1. Will it do enough damage to kill off this FCC? It just misses the kill on FCC. That gives an extra dual attack unit for the Flan. It's going to be just super problematic, and I don't think Elvemage is going to be able to tank all this damage. Elbrus does come through, though! But the Flan does still have focus stack, so she does still have that 100% evasion. But will Teiyu and Zeo have enough damage?
I don't know if Teiyu's taking another turn. I think Luna laps.
Zeo S1 comes through. Luna does lap. S2 is going to be coming forward. Will he want to go for an S1 instead? However, he does, finishing off the Teiyu. And now Flan again, still at 2 focus stacks. That 100% evasion is most likely going to be too problematic for Elvemage.
The power of the chosen.
Unbuffable on Zeo really decreases a lot of his damage too.
Absolutely, 100%. S1 coming out from the Flan, trying to just gun down the Yufian. Yufian getting another turn to try to soulburn just a little bit. Or sorry, lifesteal. It's not even on lifesteal, it's on destruction. So this Flan S1 is going to finish out the game, putting the game number 1 into Keith's favor.
Not killing the FCC there was the difference maker.
Yeah, for sure.
If he had just a bit more damage on Yufian and killed FCC, I think he would be coming home with the game 1 win. But because he couldn't, Keith will be taking game 1. Elvemage will be choosing first pick though. But that is a problem with Teiyu that like people don't think about sometimes. You can only really kill 1 unit, so you need to be able to follow up. But obviously Elvemage's team with the Arunka Yufian can't really follow up on the Teiyu defense breaks.
Yeah. That's the tricky thing about playing like Zeo on 3. It's like the Ludwig's obviously really strong, but the Teiyu, if that 1 unit isn't going to allow you to win the game, like it's not going to be as impactful as you'd like it to be. Now, Lone Wolf Paper does get picked up. Blue Paper, Green, and Spirit Eye Celine are banned out on Elvemage side, with the Illinev Albedo being banned out by Keith. And Lone Wolf Paper gets picked up by Elvemage, and now Keith is hovering the Helion Lua, which he really seems to love.
Yeah, I mean, Lua is very,
understandably
very strong.
so.
It'll be really interesting to see if we has Elvemage picked Pera yet? Do we know what artifact he's on?
Yes, we know that he is on Sweet Miracle.
So yeah, I wonder if Keith knows that, because obviously in the Asia meta they play Tooth Pera, but obviously Elvemage is not completely playing Asia style, I would say.
Yeah, Tori obviously is a solid pickup. You know, you don't have to. It's a pretty neutral DPS. You don't have to worry too much about any debuffs or whatnot, and it's pretty safe. You can get mitigation on 3 that we've seen time and time again if players play a little bit too aggressive into you. And Elvemage goes for the Blood Moon Haste on 2, taking full advantage of the Illinev being banned out, and picks up the Fire Litica, also taking advantage of the fact that Abyssal Euphine was used on his side last game. So it's not going to be, a very hard counter that he's going to have access to.
Glyceria is open though for Keith's taking if he wants it. Oh, he's gonna choose to slow down. Respecting Elvemage aggression here.
Trying to decide which knight he wants to pick up, and he does go for the Adventurer Ras to try to give as much survivability as possible to the Tori, and goes for the DN on 4.
I think Elvemage might be able to just completely go aggro on Keith here with the Litica. Like something like Jacko or like Litica or something like a Blitica, something like. Oh, we see Elvemage pick this MLR unit a lot.
Ooh, he definitely loves that pick with the Fire Litica.
Let's see what other bridge he has for us.
How is he going to want to play this out? Ooh, Requiem Roana to guarantee a soul burn for the Litica makes sense. And also it's going to be a reset for the DN. How do you feel about Elvemage's draft so far?
It's not bad. He does get the Emma through. Note though, Emma will not be able to stun the Tori.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Elvemage versus Keith in game number 2. And there we have it. We are going to see the Guiding Light Litica, Soulburn S2 coming out.
Oh!
It does not cut in front of DN, as it did not land the restrict. So that is going to allow the DN to get a cleanse. However, the S3 is the cleanse that does not provide any combat readiness boost, as they are currently restricted. So that SBA technically is still going to have some value here. Now S3 going onto the ARAS, try to get out the mitigation as soon as possible. Landing the defense break, but not the pushback. SBA is going to be able to get the S3. Huge turn here. Will it land all the stuns and burns? And it does land onto the Lua and the ARAS, but the DN is still around and not stunned. Lone Wolf Pair actually looks like it's 16k HP.
Probably on 2.
Could Elvemage could have swapped his artifact potentially. He does have Soulburn available. Will he want to use it here? And he does go for the Soulburn S1. And it is not Toothpayra. It is still going to be on the Sweet Miracle.
The skill note
Tori is going to go for the S3.
It's huge here.
Yeah, this S1 Cascade is going to do 0 damage. It will do the 4k fix if he decides to throw it onto the Silverblade Araminta, but it still won't kill. Goes onto the Blood Moon Haste instead. Does 0 damage except for the 4k Cascade. The burns are just putting in an insane amount of work. I mean, this SBA is going to hurt a lot. There is going to be a little bit of a barrier and the Rod of Amaryllis healing for the DN, but this is still going to be very problematic for Keith. S1 coming out, strips the anti-crit. A little bit of healing going out to cover the Cascade damage. S1 onto the ARAS. S2. Burn, burn, burn. Ooh, Lua's still surviving, though. Not quite enough. The DN S2 healing with the Rod of Amaryllis and the barrier keeping her alive. And Helion Lua goes for the S3. Lands a provoke, but not onto the Litica. He can go for the bleeds on the Tori now. Does land 2. Not enough. Will this burn? It burns. Will this kill the Tori?
It does.
It does. And that is GG going in favor of Elvemage, bringing it back to a 1-1. And Keith is going to surrender.
Super clean game by
What a
Elvemage.
comeback. What a comeback for Elvemage to bring it back into his side.
Yep, now the series is back, tied up 1-1.
Would you say that like these two players are relatively even matched?
Yeah, you can say that.
Like in terms of like experience, maybe not in terms of accounts, but
I think
experience
Elvemage
for
definitely
sure.
has more experience, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, break down the pre-bans for us here, my friend.
So we see Elvemage going for the Arunka Renok, as we've seen many times earlier, and we see Keith banning FCC and Zio potentially wanting to get that Renok for himself, but Elvemage was able to sniff it out and pre-ban Renok. But that does leave Luna open for the takings. Without Bellion, without Zio, Luna has so much power. Elvemage goes for the Poly and Euphine. Let's see how Keith responds.
We know that's not Green Charles getting locked in.
Yeah,
Don't worry, guys.
don't worry about that.
Yeah, we know about that. I did hear Green Charles is pretty good for the new Trial of Constellation stuff, though, so there's that.
They buffed the unit for PvE, is what you're saying?
Let's fly.
He goes for the Frida on 3, as well as the Janua. 2 solid picks here.
And would you say the Janua is to be picked up so that Elvemage can't get the Poly Janua combo? Or is it more so just because Euphine is going to be able to proc and kind of thing?
I think Janua, yeah, I think it's more so because of the Euphine. Obviously, denying the combo is always good, but getting a really good DPS into the Euphine is always going to be always gonna be really good for Keith. However, this could be a prot set Euphine.
Right.
Only when all are dead will this end.
I will say though, Luna without Requiem Rowana is a lot weaker. Because Requiem Rowana was picked by Elvemage last game, it cannot be picked this game.
There's no way around it. We're fighting.
And it looks like Keith wants to go for the Veronica here.
I mean, he has the bridge locked in on 3s, but if you don't pick something that's fast, that can enable your team. Ooh. Is he going to go for the Fire Flan on 5?
It's not the worst here. He does.
Okay, he does.
Whatever you got, bring it.
Well, with that Miki pick, we are almost assured that Elvemage is going to be post-banning the Veronica.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It would be diabolical to not ban Veronica with the BBK and Amiki. But there we have it. We do see the Veronica confirmed to be banned and the Amiki being respected by Keith. So both players made their post-ban decisions, setting up their imprints, and we're going to go into game number 3 to see who can take a 2-1 lead moving into the next round.
This is going to be a faster BBK.
All right. So Luna is going to be able to get the first turn. S1 is going to be coming out from the Flan.
Ooh, I'm not sure if you wanted to do that. Because now...
Infinite Horizon Acades is not going to cut.
Because now... No, the thing is, this Flan is no longer has any focus.
Yeah.
The BB...
Now she has no evasion.
If I'm Elvemage, I'm pushing up my BBK and going for the win. Okay, never mind. Elvemage has no aura.
All right, Elvemage does go for the S3 to apply the rage onto the entire team here. Frida does hold her place in line, but it does land the speed down on Luna and also the Flan.
It is
Frida's going to go for the S3. Frida will be going for the S3 to try to cleanse off these debuffs and push up the team just a tad bit. Will Keith want to go for an S1 or an S3? And he does go for the S1 to just try to get a little bit of the evasion back. Now, Januma does have an attack buff and S3. I reckon this will kill the Acades. And it does, killing it through the Aureus. BBK can go for an S1. He rips the S3! S3 with the rage! It doesn't kill the Frida! Oh, man! I wonder if he was expecting to kill the Frida there.
I mean, that has to...
Okay, well, Janua's not going to cut with the Euphine on field. S1's going to go ahead and kill out the Luna. BBK is going to be a machine gun killer here. Kills off Luna, could potentially go for Frida as well, maybe 2 for 1.
It's dangerous.
And he does. He gets 2 for 1 and an extra duel from the Sea Phantom Politis. Yuffie getting an S1. Will he be able to attack down the Janua? He does not. Janua is for sure most likely going to be able to kill the Yuffie. However, BBK still does have the second immortality, and this will use up a Flan duel. And Flan will no longer have evasion. And there it is. The Yuffie is going to be going down from the second swipe of Janua. Flan no longer has the evasion, as any S1 will only grant her 0.5 focus, with the Sea Phantom Politis resource reduction putting in work this game. With one more turn of the Sea Phantom Politis having rage, will this Flan evade?
Who's next?
This is for all the marbles. Will it hit?
Oh.
It misses.
Wait,
Will
but
this be enough to cut, however?
It's gonna get the
Will it
kill
be
and
enough to cut? It cuts. It cuts forward, and he's going to be able to get game number 3. This will for sure kill out the Janua. What a game by Elvemage. Great heads-up play by going for the S3 with the BBK to just put everybody down HP, and then Sea Phantom Politis can just drag the BBK and put him into a more favorable position.
Oh, I think that Luna S1 turn 1 lost in the game. If he S2'd and got that 25% CR push, he would be able to cut that poly at the end there. Ooh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the S1 there, as I said as soon as he did it, and it did end up costing him. But great play by Elvemage, just killing the Luna before she got S3 again.
Is it time to draw my sword?
All right, so we are going to be seeing the Hellion Lua and Lone Wolf pair being banned out by Elvemage, and Blue Lua and Young Senya being banned out on Keith's end. Maybe he saw Elvemage playing some Lua earlier on and wanted to take that out of the game, and he does go ahead and lock in the Fire Litica on 1. Yuffie obviously is off the table, so one of the very strong counters or pseudo counters into Litica, preventing her from going for the S2, S3 chain, is not available, as it was picked in game 3. And wow, Elvemage locks in Celeste and Conqueror Lilius on the 1-2.
Can't
not
say I was
backing
expecting
down. I can't say I was expecting that either. Wow, I can't say I expected double opener like this. That's quite a surprise.
Let's do this.
And Keith is not deviating. He says, you know what? I'm not going to try to race you. I am going to go ahead and pick up Tori and a Ras. And last piece Corinne being picked up by Elvemage.
I never miss my target.
With Watcher Shuri? Is he just going to try to kill this Litica on turn 1?
I guess so. I mean, he's just completely racing here.
Wow. I mean, what do you think the game plan is here?
Oh, I do like that beat-on pick, though. I think Elvemage just wants to kill Litica and then kill the rest of the team with stuff like Watcher Shuri and whatnot, right? Ooh, Sage Ball. Sage Ball will be able to sleep most of the team. I like the beat-on, however, from earlier. Let's see if he commits of it.
Do not falter.
Oh, man. You either deal with the anti-crit or you got to deal with the Sage Ball sleeping your entire team. I reckon that this is most likely going to have to be... Oh, wow. Karina being picked up by Elvemage.
I think that's a decent pick here. Karina's good against everyone on his team. And
could go for a one-shot, yeah.
Yep, Keith does ban the Karina, and Elvemage does ban the bow. He does not want to be slept.
Obey if you wish.
All right, into game number 4. Conquer Lilius is going to be able to get the S3, providing Vigor the extra 30% attack and defense to the entire team. Attack down onto the Litica and the Candy and the Adventurer Ras as well.
I'll make you kneel before me.
Where should I start?
He does
And
provoke
now
the
Celeste
Raz.
is going to have the turn. S3 does go.
My arrows.
Now, most likely it's going to be on Renewed Will, as we don't see any other artifact in play right now. S1 actually not wanting to risk for a counter salvo from the Candy, I reckon. LPK does go for the S3.
This sword knows no mercy.
Let's see if he crits.
If you see it,
He does.
He crits! He does hit the crit. Sashi's going to proc. Watcher Shuri's going to have a huge S3 here. Does not hit, though. The anti-crit doing work, and that removes the skill nullifier from the Watcher Shuri as well.
This Tori is probably gonna have a field day here and just kill everybody one by one.
I would have to agree.
I wonder if he caught a hold of that Conqueror's HP. If he does know it's not the highest HP, you could go slam the Tori on the Conqueror. Seems like he's not confident.
He did not.
I would have at least went on Celeste here, because Celeste takes a lot more turns, right? Oh!
Candy salvo. Oh, counter salvo coming in. Not quite revealing the LPK, however. But this Candy is definitely doing a lot of damage, and this Celeste is gonna go. He does decide to pivot his aggro. S1 onto the Conquer Lily, as salvo does end up killing the Celeste. And now Elvemage goes for the soul burn, misses the crit on the Candy.
The time has come.
S1 onto the Candy as well. Again, no crit again.
This sword knows no
And now LPK is going to be able to get another S1. Will he crit? He does not.
Nope, that's game.
And that is going to be game.
I always keep my word.
Elvemage perhaps going a bit too aggressive here.
That was a bit surprising for him to kind of all in the draft like that, right?
Yeah, Celeste Conk was definitely not what I was expecting from Elvemage.
I need a BRB 1 sec, so you take it over for a second.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see what both sides have to pre-ban here.
You don't deserve my
Elvemage does get the Luna first pick. I feel like the players have not been too aware of giving away Luna. Like they might be giving away Luna a bit too easily. I feel like she's definitely a hard unit to deal with.
kindly scoot out of here.
And Keith will be going straight for the afternoon soak Flan,
I'm ready.
as well as the Silk in case Elvemage wants to race. Elvemage is not backing down. He goes straight for the race.
I just wanna
And the Solitaria. Ooh, I'm not sure how good this will be. Keith does go for the ML Poly, a very strong pick into Solitaria if you have Flan, because you could duel even without having focus. And he goes for Sid. He is just going all in this game. He does not care.
Only when all are dead will this end.
And I'm thinking Elvemage picked his. I'm thinking Elvemage picked his D-Gen, or not D-Gen, his slow ER BBK here. Let's see how he rounds up his draft. He could do something like the Ruel, seeing as how Keith doesn't have something like a stop movement besides the Silk, I guess.
I'm tired of this act.
And he goes for the ML Haste. I feel like we've seen time and time again ML Haste getting run over, even getting the barrier. Like the dual attacks just become too much. Slow down, speed up from Poly becomes too much. But let's see if Elvemage, let's see what Elvemage has to do.
My love to you.
And Keith rounds out his draft with the Requiem Verwana, a great pick against most of Elvemage's units. Ooh, Keith is gonna have to be really careful with this BBK. He has to check what kind of BBK it is as soon as the game starts. Let's see. Yep, this is the ER BBK, like I was saying.
The right, then to the left.
So BBK definitely has the potential to just completely wipe Keith's team. So he has to probably save Flan Soulburn. I mean, potentially save Silk Soulburn.
Well, this is quite the draft.
Yep. Can he one-shot Luna? Oh, wow. 30k damage.
While you blink.
I'll teach you a lesson.
I don't know if Keith could deal with this Poly. What do you think?
One shot, one kill.
This Poly? Or you mean BBK?
Oh yeah, BBK, my bad.
Yeah, I think the BBK is going to go nuclear here. Like, there's no evasion on the Flan, so it's a 50-50, and he already has a kill win condition on the Sid, right?
Yeah.
Will always be reliable.
But we'll see what happens. I mean,
My hand. We're not.
Wanderer Silk.
Oh,
Bam.
Wow, that stun is huge.
Everything away.
That stun kind of stopped the Elvemage in his tracks a little bit, but
Shall I attack?
No strip on the S2 from the Wanderer Silk, so the immunity is still on there.
Why are you interrupting my relaxation?
Oh man, this is gonna be a scary spot for Keith to be in.
Song, listen. Where are you going?
Any strip? No strips. Soulburn S3, let's see it.
This blade desires
BBK's gonna have a huge turn on Elvemage here. S3 does not hit the flan, kills off the Sid and the Silk. Will this hit? Will this kill?
It does.
It hits! GG!
GG.
Game 5 going to Elvemage with the ER Nuclear BBK.
He baited Keith really well here.
That was a really, really good bait. Like, the Solitaria pick looked really, really confusing at first, but disabling the flan from having 100% evasion was the win con for him.
Yep. And Elvemage, Elvemage will be good at match point. Let's see if it will be Elvemage in 6 or will Keith bring us to the deciding game 7.
Yep. That's just the LV ER BBK tech, man.
Yeah, he pulled out the DPS BBK in an earlier game rather, and he switches up to the ER for this one. That's what you could do in these best of 7s. If you have 2 of a unit, you could fool your opponent to thinking something is one build and then bring out the other copy.
100%, yeah.
Keith once again will be going for the Lytic. Elvemage last time did try to go mega aggressive into it, but it didn't go that well for him. Also, I should note there's a Mort and a Fire Poly pre-ban and a Tori and ADS pre-ban from the side of Elvemage.
The deeper the series go, the more pre-bans that come out, and so far it looks like they haven't even had any mirror pre-bans yet.
Yeah, they've had pretty opposite bans.
So we're at 24 pre-bans with an additional 10 characters, so we're at 34 units not available, and Elvemage does go for the Conquer Lilius opener with the Crimson Armament for mitigation.
There's only one overlapping pre-ban in the Bellion, right? So.
Oh yeah, I guess there's one, so technically we're at 33.
And he chooses to go for Laya Shoot into the Carmen Conqueror. I kind of like it. Laya Shoot is like super strong at these turn 2 fights. With the Mort pre-ban though, Elvemage with a great spot up pick with the Candy. Candy is pretty good into Laya Shoot because they take so many turns, so you have so many chances to Elbrus.
There are still some other characters that you can pick that I can think of.
You're just that guy?
You
know who I would pick here?
Let's defy the odds.
I would low-key consider picking Lethe here. Thoughts?
You think he has Lethe geared?
I mean, when your account is that good, you should, no?
I guess so.
Oh, I don't know if I like SSB. His team is really squishy, I feel. I feel like even something like the Blood Moon Haste would have been pretty good, no?
Ooh, the Strays.
I like that pick. It's pretty much a force ban, no? Unless he thinks that his shoot is faster than the Conqueror, and he could potentially just go for a Strays S3 onto a Shoe S3 onto the Strays.
Yeah, but if you're trying to kill through mid prot, I think
I'm saying you ban the Carmen. If he
I
thinks
see.
that.
I see.
No.
I see. Elvemage looks like he's not in a terrible spot. Am I crazy?
You're not crazy.
Who will stand against me?
All right, well, into game 6 we go. Elvemage is at match point and with a 3-2 lead rather. Keith looking to decide if he wants to go for that too, and he does. He hits the Eupine. The guided decision, not enough of a CR push. S3 will for sure push the Strays back.
And I think Strays is going to be dying.
Eternal.
I would have to agree. Defense break is going to be going on to the Strays. The Shoe is going to be coming in with a huge S3. Going on to the Strays, completely nullifying him immediately. And now Eupine is going to be able to cleanse. And now Elvemage is going to have to see if this Elbrus is going to work or not.
I'll do my best. Follow my rhythm.
Why don't you just
Lilika's gonna be able to cycle to her S2 in this turn.
Very fast, yeah.
No, she's gonna have it already. Because LRK.
Oh, with the Lia. Oh, LRK and then Lia.
LRK, yeah, she has.
Oh, that is too disgusting.
She has her S2 already.
Counter.
Oh, that's a huge
Salvo.
counter though.
Wait, can he take out this Litica?
Wait,
He's not going for the Litica?
does he not recognize that she has S2?
I will fight until the end.
Oh.
Now you can't counter, Elvemage. You can't counter anymore.
that was nothing. So
I don't think he realized because of the resets, right?
Yeah, I mean you have to be paying really careful attention to notice that. But
Yeah, 100%.
but Keith will be taking us to Game 7. Let's see who brings it home. This is for a chance to fight in the grand finals.
Yep. Man, I feel bad for whoever has to play after this because like they got to do a BO7 into playing Hazmare. Like, oh man.
I think Keith actually knocked out Hazamare in the Asia bracket.
I mean, if anyone has the account to do so with the best odds, it's got to be Keith, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to see the Sid and Wanderer Silk getting pre-banned by Elvemage, and we do see the Luna Sea Phantom Politis from Keith on the pre-bans. You getting tired over there, buddy?
No, I'm fine. I told you though, I have a bit of a cold right now.
Out of here.
Oh yeah, you're sick. You need to hit some NyQuil after, dude, and knock out.
Yeah, probably.
All right, well, Elvemage picks up the Fire Flan. Very solid DPS choice, obviously. Sea Phantom Politis is banned out. Litica is not available as it was used in Game 6. Solitaria obviously is available as one of the natural hard counters for the Afternoon Soak Flan, but also SSB is out of the picture too, so a lot of units that are, relatively, strong or good versus the Flan are out. And Keith does decide to pick up mitigation early on with the Blue Crow as a win condition versus the Flan. If it ever comes down to it, he can go for the S3 horse to trade 1-for-1.
Yep. Picking up Crow here with Ilanav gone is decent. He maybe wants to pick up a DN as well, or possibly a Solitaria is decent too.
Me time.
You'd better stand down.
Now, the Solitaria obviously is here to disable the dual attacks from the Flan. Elvemage actually not slowing down. He wants to go for Veronica and Frida on 3.
Elvemage definitely picking up the pace here, going aggressive. Let's see what Keith has to respond.
Put your
And
life
Yufine
Oh!
on
is
the
banned
line.
out by Keith's
Oh!
side, right? And LPK gets picked up by Keith. He's reaching deep into his bag.
Are we just gonna have a full-out race for Game 7? Yes, it looks like we are.
Oh my god.
Look very
Oh no. Elvemage is actually gonna back off.
Only
Ooh, I'm not sure you want to
one
pick BB. I'm not sure you want to pick BBK though.
Oh man, this is a scary spot to be in if you're Keith, no?
Really? I don't think so. I think I'm really Bing chilling if I'm Keith.
I'll give you the show of a lifetime.
Cause I mean I'm assuming the Solitaire has an effect on this, right? So it could easily strip either the BBK or the Haste.
Don't you think it's a ban Solitaria angle and just let the BBK go free?
You could potentially do that, yeah.
All right, I think that might be the play, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I didn't like the Rowana last pick too much. Oh, but
Ooh,
he kind of
did
got
go
red.
for it.
He kind of got
Yeah.
red.
Will Elvemage be able to take this off, or is Keith going to go running into the stars, into facing Hazamare to try to knock him out once again in the grand finals? We'll find out.
We both know how this ends.
And Keith is going to be taking the first turn with the LPK going ahead of Elvemage's team. Now, even with this S3, it will reveal the stealth off of the Veronica, but will this be enough? Like, will you want to kill anything here and proc Blood Moon Haste's Blood Aura?
No, but I think you could just push back everything and then Vildred kills everything, no?
I am the sword. The sword is me.
Did you come to
Okay,
see me?
Veronica's going to go for the S3 to soften up the load.
Are you listening? It's a requiem in your memory.
Will it push back the Frida? It does.
Oh, that's
But
a
Blood Moon
lot of
Haste
heal.
does get a
though.
little bit of a counter with the Celestine. Huge healing, almost covering all the damage that she just
This is
did.
a
Actually.
13k Vildred is not killing.
This is my justice.
Oh no! It misses on the Veronica as well. It does not do enough.
You really have no tact.
Flan is gonna have the S3 now.
I think Elvemage is gonna be. I think Elvemage is gonna
I
be.
think Elvemage
moving
got
on.
it. Yeah. I think Elvemage got it.
There's no use fighting it. You've already been railed in.
S3's gonna go off here, killing off the Requiem Mirana through the mitigation from the crowd. Veronica opting to go for the S1 to try to kill off this
Treat me like a
Vildred sooner than later.
child protector.
Soulburn S1 coming from Free to give a little bit of a barrier to the rest of his team. And the souls be generated, and Keith recognizes there's no way out, and he surrenders. Elvemage moving on into the grand finals to match up against Hazamare to determine who is the best.